Hey, how's it going, folks? Gustavo Medeiros here, and today let's talk about UVs. Stick with me and let's dive in. Before jumping to UVs workflow, let's quickly go over what UVs are. After finish the topology of your character, you need to create UVs to start texturing. But a simple term is like 2D texture into your 3D model. Something like this. Yeah, and today I will focus in UVs for games. There is a lot of techniques that can be used in cinematic workflow as well, so stay here. I will show you guys the UV tools that I use all the time. Let's start it. So there is this spinning tool. It's pretty nice. Sometimes this part of the UV is nice for you, and other parts, they are messed up, and you can just unfold one part and let the other part freeze, and that's a useful tool. Pin and alright. Yeah, this texture borders is useful as well. Sometimes you just wanted to select just one part of the UV shell like that. So you're gonna click texture borders, and then you're gonna have the border selected, and then you can do something like that, invert the selection and work inside of the UV shell, and it's a useful tool as well. I don't use that too much, to be honest, like this front facing and no overlap and unmapped and stuff, but I use soft selection a lot though. Let's say that I wanted to move softly this part of the UV like that, or something like this, and this is not useful just for UVs, it's useful for modeling, for topology. This tool is awesome. I use that almost every day. Transform is pretty basic. It's something like put the UV shell just a little bit to left or right, so that's useful because sometimes you are working on a UV with a lot of assets and you just wanted to work in this UV shell. You can put this UV to the left or right and don't lose the location of the UV shell. That's pretty useful. Yeah, rotate, flip. Texture density is pretty important if you want to work with games. Create. I don't use this part a lot because I use all the time planar and that works to me. But like you can use whatever you want here. Sometimes you just wanted to open UVs in automatic way, so this can be useful to you. In this part, cut and sew, it's nice, but I usually use this shortcut here, cut and sew, but I use that all the time as well, but not in this menu. Yeah, I use here, cut and sew. Pretty useful. Optimize tool, it's nice. I don't use that much, but it's nice to use that and see the shell unfolding. Like, it's nice, right? It's pretty nice, I like it. And then there is unfold. I think that this is the most important tool to open UVs. I have a hotkey for this, and this is pretty useful. You're gonna use that all the time opening UVs. So, and there is some variations of that, like unfold legacy along U and V. This is different. Sometimes the unfold 2D for some reason doesn't work, and then you're gonna use this other two guides here, along V and along U. And straight UVs. What is the difference between straight UVs and straight shell? I will show you guys. Straight UVs. Come on. Really? Alright, Maya, let's try again. Let me show you guys the difference between straight UVs and straight shell. If we have something like that, just to show you guys an example, and we click straight in UVs, something like that will happen, and this is not what we expect, right? That's not good. But if we click straight in shell, nothing will happen. But if we get just this part, this vertices here, boom, magic. Then we can use straight UVs. That's it. This is pretty useful. I use that a lot. Sometimes people don't know how to use that and say that Maya doesn't have straighting tools for UVs, but actually Maya does have that. This is pretty useful. Works pretty good. Sometimes Maya crashes, you know. Yeah. So let's try to use something more complex. This belt right here. These UVs are pretty much done already. Just to use as an example, right? So it would be something like that. And then if we use just straight UVs, this will not work at all. This will be a mess. We can take just this line here of vertices and straight shell, and we're gonna be good. Maybe we can use straight UVs right here. All right. Seems pretty decent to me. So let's say that we have a few UV shells right here. We wanted to put all of them into one UV shell. If we select all of them and click layout, that's not good. But if we click here, stack and orient, and then layout, that's better, right? This can optimize your workflow a little bit. We can test different things under the arrange and layout. We can click on stack similar or stack shells, orient, layout, but this is simple as I said. So there's one more thing that I would like to share with you guys about technique. Let's say that the character has a lot of coins or ropes or something like that, and they share the same UVs, and you don't want to open UVs for all of the assets, so we can open one UVs and mirror the UVs to other asset. That's something cool. I will show you guys how to do it. So let's try to mirror the UVs like to this one here. Let's open this UV and let this UV squared. Yeah, let's mirror the UVs right now. Click here, transfer attributes. We're gonna transfer just the UV sets. You can click here all, and then the sample space needs to be topology, and then we don't need to work with this window. Click on the source and click on the UVs and click G, and again and again. So this problem is solved. I use that a lot. This optimized a lot my workflow, so keep that in mind as well. This is helpful, not just useful. So guys, another example here. This is a personal project that I've been doing for a while, square UVs and stuff. So how to do that? How to let your UVs square like that? Do you need that? Like for real? Why? You know, this is good for LOD and optimization for games. Sure that each project has their own documentation and their own technical stuff, so it's not every project that you're gonna use that, but it's good to show in your portfolio that you know how to do it. I will show you guys how to do this UV set of squared UVs. I picked this UV shells right here just to give you guys an example how to do it. I will take this line here and then I'll click straight shells, and here this part there's two options. You can use just this tool right here, or we can use straight in UVs. Yeah, like I'm not worried right now if inside of the UV shell is not working, because you're gonna fix that. We can use the soft selection a little bit. Alright, that's pretty decent. Now I will fix inside of the UVs. I will select just the horizontal vertices like this, and I will unfold just along V. And same thing with vertical vertices, like. Alright, that's working. Yeah, this is working pretty good. Yeah, so we can do it in all these parts here. So again, straighting shells. In this case, we can rotate like this, straight, and then return. Same thing here, rotate, straight, return. Yeah, let me fix just a little bit this part, and then we can select here the border of this UV shell and invert selection and unfold. And now same technique, and yeah, it's working. Right now we can start to put the UVs on the UV set. Yeah, and try to fill all the gaps. This is a puzzle game. I usually have like hotkeys for straight UVs and straight shell, but I just restarted my Maya because it was crashing, I don't know, for some reason, but I will do that with you guys. Yeah. That's it. No secrets, guys. This is pretty simple, right? We can rotate a little bit here and try to fill the gaps. As I say, this is a puzzle game. Yeah, this is just the beginning, like the block out of the UV set. We can fill the gaps with small assets like these gaps, this one as well. This is a puzzle game. This is the way we optimize UVs for games. As I said, this is not needed in every project, but it's good to show that you know how to do it. So if we want to check the character, if the UV is working, we can apply a checker map on it to see if everything is right. Yeah, so it seems that everything is working fine here, but maybe let's say that this part of the UV is a little bit messed up. Here, let's say that UV is something like that. For some reason, I just messed up with this part of the UV, and you can see if something is wrong with a checker map. And there is a lot of versions of checker, and there is a website which is pretty interesting that I can show you guys. The name is UV Checker Generator, and you can create your own UV checker, the color, and if you need arrows or coordinates or sending, and white, black, the font, the size. It's pretty amazing website. Yeah, use that. I will put that on the description of the video, alright? So, and when not use squared UVs, like 100% squared, sometimes we have specific patterns, maybe a t-shirt like that, or a fabric that needs a specific pattern like a fabric or a denim or something like that. I like to open the UVs with pattern already because this will make your life easier. So I will apply a pattern here, something like that, and we can see that the direction of the pattern is not matching. So this is important. It's good to open the UVs and organize the UV shells with this in mind. So let's do it. This is something simple. Yeah, much better. This is something simple as well. It's just something that can help you, because sometimes you're gonna open the UVs and you don't think about the pattern, and then you need to do a back and forth. Maybe you are in the texturing phase, you need to go back and do the bakes again because of that. And this is a little mistake, but this will cost time. So let's say that we're gonna have a specific pattern in this skirt. So you good? You good, dog? Let's talk about UVs?
Yeah, boy.
So let's say that we have a specific pattern for this skirt. I will apply here a pattern to see if I open this UVs properly. So you can see that it's not working because I let this UVs pretty squared. This is a case that we can't let this UV so squared. So we need to find a balance, right? So let's do it. Maybe if I unfold everything, I can let maybe this part in a squarish way. Yeah, this is much better right now. And same thing here. We can see that the UV, they are stretching a little bit in some parts, so we need to avoid that. But this is a case of a specific pattern, right? So this is a case that we need to avoid, and we need to apply the texture, like pattern texture, to see if the UV is working, to do the bakes and proceed with textures. So that's a good way to see if everything is working. And that's it, just to find a balance between squared and not squared. But yeah, just to give you guys an example, some situations we can't let the UVs 100% squared like I showed to you guys, so just keep that in mind as well. Alright, now I will show you guys how to do custom scripts for UVs. Actually, you can use this technique for everything in Maya. Here is the UVs of this belt, and then we're gonna do some command here like straightening shell. And then I'm gonna take the script editor and copy this command here, and then we're gonna do a custom script. Runtime command editor, new name. Alright, straightening shell, the command, and okay, save. So we're gonna click save. So this is my command, this is my hotkey, and we can do that for everything in Maya, because sometimes we cannot find everything here on this list, so we can do our own custom hotkey. So we can use that for UVs, like now I can use that like here, Ctrl X, and there you go. We can do that for rotate, textile density. We can do that for everything on the UV editor. This can help you open UVs workflow, and you can do that for modeling as well, because there is a lot of things that you cannot find here on the menu item, but you can create your own. So we are good. And there is another technique. ZBrush can do a UV base for you. I was testing other day. To be honest, this used to be really bad, but something changed. Let's take a look. So this is ZBrush. let's try to open the UVs in an automatic way. UV master, and let's turn off symmetry and unwrap. So let's see. Yeah, this is a really good base, guys. We can use that as a start. For sure that I need to adjust some parts, but this is pretty good already. Let's see something. Okay, this is working if we don't care about UVs for games, but we can just cut this part here and adjust some parts, and that's it. So imagine if we have a lot of belts, a lot of little things, assets in the different ways. This can optimize a little bit your workflow. So maybe I will use ZBrush more to open UVs. That's it for today, folks. I hope that these UV tips help your workflow a little bit. This is how I approach UVs. If you have some tricks or tips, drop them below, please. If you found this video helpful, give a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching and see you soon.